All right, we'll begin the ambulance authority meeting, September 18th, 2025. We'll call the meeting to order and, welcome our one visitor that we got. And, everybody's here but Dr. Trustler. So, we'll move on. Agenda, any changes or
Motion to approve agenda.
motion to approve the agenda? Second?
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All in favor saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Public comments? Okay, no public comments. Minutes from the previous meetings?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, I have a motion to approve. Second?
Second.
I have a second?
Which one?
All right. Everybody's seen the write-offs and the, that we had that they passed around. Everybody signed that, so, need a motion to approve those.
I'll make that motion.
Make a motion from Dr. Keel. Second?
I'll
Sec-
second. Or Frank can
Let
second.
her
All
have
right. All in favor saying aye?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. All right, we're down to quarterly financial reports from Mariana.
I feel like it ought to be more like half a year. Been here in a while. So you all have August,
Yes.
okay. So far, as you can see on the first page, the operations report, things are going well. Excuse me, collections and year-to-date, early in the year, but I don't see anything unusual about it. Accounts receivables, that's standard, they at 844, we usually stay about 2 months behind on what we actually bill, so that's normal. Collections are coming in well. We haven't had any issues other than, just the usual dealing with insurance companies, but other than that, everything's been good. Does anybody have any questions?
No.
First, please.
How did how did we end up last year? How much in the red?
I actually have a little
You ain't got those
report.
figures yet?
Pardon?
I was just curious.
Well, I actually have a report that
Right.
I prepared today. If I'll pass it out when I get through with this.
I'm sorry,
But,
okay.
no.
Spoke ahead of time.
And did you get a budget book? I put it in your
Yes.
box?
Yes,
Yes.
I got it
Okay.
yesterday.
It's
or
in the budget
Tuesday.
book, right?
Yes, I just want to make sure you got one, because I put
Right.
one out there for
Okay.
everybody. But yeah, I do have a more detailed report.
Right. Okay,
But yeah, we did fine, we did well.
okay,
So,
okay. Just curious, I wouldn't,
I don't know why you'd be curious. But yeah, I have, I'll hand that out when we get to it, but yes. So the status report on the second page, just our revenue versus what we've spent. As you know, revenue's a little slow. July, most anything that comes in July is accrued back to June, so it doesn't look like we have a whole lot. And then, of course, property taxes don't start to come in until October and into December heavy, so you won't see a whole lot from that yet. But collections are still strong. We're still, we'll get to that on the next page, for doing well on our collections. And then the Medicaid subsidy, we're getting that, but still, I am getting the notices. I know sometimes they'll mail them to y'all, and I won't get them, and anyway. So that's still coming in strong. And then, of course, the second part where I've got the expenditures, I've got it separated by salaries, benefits, operating than what is actually the Medicaid matching share. So we have 42,376 $376,000 more expenditures than revenue coming in.
Okay.
Anybody have any questions?
Anybody got any questions for Mary Ann? Okay.
And then the third page is collections versus billed calls, just looks at how well we're doing compared with the revenue that we built for the budget. And you can see on that second little column area, July and August to date, we're ahead 45,742 over what we've budgeted for our collected patient collections, should say.
That's good.
Yeah, that is good.
Always
It's
be
good.
over.
I always, as you know, budget conservatively, obviously. That way, if we need it somewhere else, we can move it later in the budget fiscal year. And then, of course, the bottom section where it's got cash collected, bills, average, you can see we're doing well with 434 average. And then FY '25, we ended up with 390,000 per billed call, which is pretty good, because the year before, as you can see it all the way across, we've started to collect more per call. The next page, it's just the charges, how they line up, what type of calls, how many, the mileage, how that's all broken down for what was billed for the month. And you can see the month of August, which is pretty normal, 373,865. And then the last page is just the cash flow, which is the actual cash coming into the fund versus the actual checks that are written and sent out, plus payroll. So, and then I always put the prior year down there, so you have something to kind of look at. We're ahead about 100,000 over last year so far, this year. You look at August at the bottom, which we always like to see that less being spent, at least I do. So we always want to be aware of that, because as you know, as you'll see, I have a report from when we started this fund till now. We always want to have that money set aside in case we need it. So overall, we're doing well. Any questions about these particular reports?
I guess one thing.
Yeah.
This year, is this the first year that we're getting the training supplement from the state?
Last year was the first year.
Last year was the first year, okay.
And I did, on the budget, I'll show you this in a minute. Sure I got that. Should be 2 pages.
Thank you.
So this morning, I thought it might be a good thing to look at, when we first moved the ambulance operations out of the general fund, and it was moved over to my office, so y'all could concentrate on paramedics and emergency services, and we would do the accounting part of it, which I believe it's worked out pretty well. Overall, yeah. So, the first year, was actually FY, 2013. And these are just in 3-year increments. I didn't do every year. But you can see the revenue at the bottom, what everything is, property taxes, patients, just like you do on the other reports. Revenue was $2,232,721. And then the second page is your expenditures. And then down at the bottom is, I've got difference between revenue and expenditures, which we always want to see that in the black. And then, because we wouldn't have had a beginning, because that's the first year we moved it into its own fund, because the goal's always been to get self-sustaining where we don't have any property taxes in there. And right now, we just have minimal amount in there anyway. So the fund balance at June 30th, 2013 was $23,152. So I just kind of wanted to see over time how we've continued to build that fund, keeping that substantial fund balance just in case whatever we needed it for, equipment replacement, because just anything, COVID, when that hit, you know, we have the money available to do what, you know, what y'all needed to do. And so that has worked well. So Tim, to answer your question, this has the year ended 2025 there on the end.
Okay.
And you can see our fund balance for June 30th, 2025 is $2,403,872. And we'd end up with $17,162 more in revenue than expenditures.
So we did pretty, a lot better.
Mm-hmm. So I just thought this would be a good little snapshot of
Yeah,
since it started to now.
appreciate that clarifies, you know, somebody has a question or anything like that, we just refer to this.
Yeah.
Of course, I got the book anyway, we can refer.
Well, I just want to make sure you got it, because I know sometimes
Yeah,
books disappear
yeah, right, they do it.
and that you did get it, but, yeah, I mean, I don't mind answering questions, obviously, but, so that kind of, you know, should feel good. It was a good move to move it out of the general fund.
It's come a long way, hasn't it?
It really, well, that's why I wanted to see that fund balance at 23,000. That was hard because you still had to pay your invoices, you had to pay
Right.
your people. So it's
Yeah, it's
been a
kinda,
good thing for the county.
yeah, it's come a long way, I had to say that, so.
So you go from 2.2 million to 3.5 in revenue. That's
Okay.
good. And then, of course, the expenditures, you know, they're
Right.
obviously gonna go up, but, at least we have the money to support with the type of business y'all are in. It's kinda like running a jail, right?
Yeah.
You never know what's going to happen. You wanna be prepared.
All right.
Yeah. But that's all I had, unless you want me to talk about something else.
Any questions for Mariana?
Nope, good job.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good
we
job,
appreciate
thank
you
you,
do
we
that.
appreciate it.
Good job.
Thank you, thank you.
Appreciate all your work that you're doing for this.
I have a great staff, so I'm fortunate.
You're very
Chris
thorough.
Wood. I try to be. I do like what I do, and I try not to make mistakes, but if you're not doing anything, you would never make a mistake, would you?
Right,
Right? Right. All right, well,
thank
as
you.
always, if I need to come at some other time and Lori doesn't tell me to come, I will be happy to come anytime. If y'all need me.
You can stick around. You want to?
I might for a few minutes.
Oh, you,
I'm waiting for my husband to get home.
oh, okay.
I gotta go pick up his car.
All right, since the Bonner's right here, director's report, I guess that'll come from you, Paul.
Yes, sir. Report for August 2025. Total calls was 933. Total fall calls were 64. We had one out of county and no
Talking about
transport.
falls, no, I didn't mean to interrupt you, talking about falls from.
Talking about lift assist.
Well,
oh, those are
sometimes
lift
they,
assist. Lift assist is what you, okay.
yeah, lift assist.
Okay. Let me. All right, you can carry on, I'm sorry.
All right. Transports, from scene to surrounding counties, 0. Comp center standbys, 157. Transports to, Vanderbilt Harton, 261, and transports to Unity, 220. Scene zone calls, Manchester, 526, Tullahoma South, 164, Tullahoma North, 174, New Union, 66, and others, 2.
Okay.
Average shoot time overall is 73. A shift was 75, B shift was 68, C shift was 76 seconds, average. A lot of these other times here, as y'all well know, they hang really close each month. Response time, 7 minutes and 7 seconds. Average scene time, 15 minutes, 23 seconds. Average total call time, 47 minutes and 6 seconds. Busiest day for the month of August was Saturday, and the busiest time, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And that's all I have on that.
A few months ago, I had asked for a little more detailed breakdown on the scene times. We had that discussion.
Scene time.
Yeah, just on how long how long it's taking to get
The response time.
the response time. Yeah, I'm sorry, not the scene time, response times. Especially on the ones, because I know sometimes we're getting some 20 and 30 minute response times, and I'd like to see, again, I'd like to see how many of those, maybe how many, I don't know if we need to define what is excessive, but where the ambulance truck's coming from and where they're going, so that we can have a little bit better information on an idea of where we need to maybe put units in the future.
Yeah, I
And yes,
remember
you did.
asking about that.
Yeah, I do
Right.
remember, and slipped my mind. All right, which truck, where they're coming from?
Where they're going, so we know, get a little better idea where we need to have our focus, because we're obviously gonna have to have some different stations in the
Do
future.
you have a ideal saying any calls over 20 minutes?
I would
Or,
think
oh,
20 minutes.
Yeah.
What do y'all think?
I mean, yeah, I think
That sounds
anything over 20. Because I think when Jeff asked that, I think Mike said that it comes in brackets. I think the comm center said he could run a report in brackets.
Yeah, that's what he said, yeah.
Yeah, and so, like 0 to 5 minutes, 5 to 10s, 10 to 15s.
yeah, I think I can do that in ESO
And
as
then
well.
be able to, not worry about those, but anything
Right.
over 20
Right.
minutes, look at and see
this-
what those calls are and where that truck is responding from.
Or any
I
other
kind of
information that
feeling,
y'all-
I kind of feeling I know where a lot of those are is when
Yeah.
there's the Manchester trucks are tied up and there's a standby coming from Tullahoma to standby at the comm center, and then on the way to the standby, there's a call comes out
Right.
Beech Grove, out
Yeah.
Lakewood.
Yeah.
And they're traveling almost all the way from South
One end to
Station
the other.
or north and coming all the way up 55 and then hit it out to Beech Grove, which takes 40 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, even at emergency traffic, because everybody knows everybody gets out of your way.
So is there any, these response times, scene times, and stuff like that, is there any way we can gauge, like, is there a national time? Or a national average?
Don't know, I'd have to,
State
All these
average?
I
every
would say
county's-
that would be hard.
That would be
counties are
hard,
different.
Because,
maybe a
I
state
mean-
average, not a national average.
depends
State-
on your
Well, I mean,
resources,
look at
size
Moore
of your,
County. I mean, you can get,
Yeah, that's a long
you
response.
can probably get from one side of Moore County to the other and at the widest point in 20 minutes. So, I mean, I wouldn't think there would be a average. I mean, they may be, but I wouldn't see, I'm like Dr. Keel, I wouldn't see how they could do one with every county being demographics
No,
and
unless they just
geographically different.
statistically just sure, mushing in together and,
I think he'd have to pull them
Do
and
y'all
then look
report
at the
those to the
specific
state?
situation.
Do y'all report scene times to the state? Or, you know,
Well, it may be pulled through NIMSIS. They may pull it through NIMSIS, which is the software where they go into,
I know all our
our
stuff with
stuff.
like Tibers,
Yeah.
which is probably about the same thing.
Right.
Where you report your stats to,
right,
you know, it asks for call time, you know, see, what is it, call time, response time, arrival time. And they've got all three
I would
times.
say it
so I'm
probably
sure they
does,
could
but I
probably
can't say
have
with
them.
100% certainty.
I don't know if it goes in there and figures it up and
Yeah.
says, okay, Coffee County's average response time is blah, you know, 20 minutes, 10
Right.
minutes, whatever.
I
We
said
used
we
to have to
start seeing-
send it, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, if we start seeing a pattern, and it may be exactly what you're saying,
Right.
but can you use the pattern to help you, you know, better
Oh, I would
manage?
say we definitely could,
Yeah.
especially if we see that it's all going north, that, you know, we would have to start looking at manning that north, either New Union more, and it may be a point that we have to up the staff. We
Yeah.
may be having to look at hiring some more to make sure that's staffed enough because it's headed that way.
Yeah.
And keeping it to where we're not having to run all the way from Tullahoma.
Well, that was my next question, is our staffing. How are we doing on our staffing?
It's been good. We've had a couple days where we just had like 4 trucks or something.
Did we get some more paramedics hired? I know last meeting, I think you all had some interviews.
No medics. Well, trying to think since the last meeting. No medics that we've hired. We've got an EMT and, well, a couple of EMTs. Some of them just want part-time. One of them wants full-time. He is currently in orientation right now. So that's where we're
For,
at. EMT.
oh, okay.
So
Didn't
we're
we
still
have one
down
in
a few
school?
paramedics.
Yeah, now, I think,
I believe,
Don't
Monica
we got-
graduated.
think Michael reported this.
Aren't we in school? We got one in school,
Yes.
paramedic school? Or did they
yes.
graduate?
One graduated.
Oh, okay.
One
last
graduated.
Well, yeah,
month.
one graduated,
Okay.
that's what he reported, I
Yeah.
think, last month.
Oh, okay.
And then we've got one, who is in school.
Okay.
To start.
That's good.
What about our ambulance that we ordered way back?
That would be a, Chief
Michael.
Bonner question.
Okay.
He's been kinda running with that, so.
All right. Okay.
But I'll work on this, Dr. Keel.
Thank you.
I apologize for letting it slip through the cracks.
You
We'll get
get
on.
busy, I'm not upset about it, I just wanted to bring it back up.
Sure.
Does New Union stay staffed? Most of the
It's been
time?
pretty regular.
That's good then.
Not 100%, but it's a lot better
Yeah,
than what it used
that's
to be,
good.
for sure.
Okay. We'll move on. Thank you, Paul.
Yes,
Old business, lift assist policy last month. I asked Michael, you know, that if we're still receiving a lot of lift assist calls, which, you know, I've heard that we've had, you know, from fire departments, I've heard that, you know, that it's gotten more numerous than usual. And, I know we had a policy several years ago that we had in place, and I was wanting us to, review that policy. It's kinda hard to do without Michael here, but
yeah.
I was wanting to kinda review that policy and, you know, maybe make some changes to it if we need to, or maybe just scrap it and come up with another a newer policy. Just whatever we need to do, to, help out with that. Because evidently, I don't think we did a whole lot with the policy that we put in place.
I think it kinda got better, didn't it, after we put
But-
that in place?
Yeah, and when I was saying that policy was put in place because we had several
Repeats.
repeats from, businesses. Is that correct?
Right.
And we had those repeats from the businesses and we didn't, you know, we just had to put a stop to it. It's got terrible. We had to come up with something. And we didn't come up with it, it wasn't nothing that had real teeth into it. I mean, they just seen when there was a policy that kind of backed off, I guess. They kind of backed off of it. I don't know.
I thought there was a fee to it though, right? A
Right.
fee- So there
There
was
was a fee
some
to it.
teeth, but I don't know, did we implement it? That's the better question. Did we?
Well,
ever-
I don't know if we ever charged.
Did we ever charge anybody for it?
Because
Yeah,
after we
that
put
was
that
the
in
question
place,
I
I don't know
was
if it
gonna
ever
have.
came back.
Have we ever charged anybody?
Yeah.
Wasn't it
we
like
have.
after
Oh,
three?
no, I don't think so, not to my knowledge.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We need to go, bring that policy back
I
up.
think the old policy was over I wanna say a 3-month period. I would ask the board here, going forward with the new policy, if we could do it by month, it's a lot easier to catch and keep up with,
Month would be probably better.
yeah. And then, have billing, send the bill out once we notify them, since
Right.
they do the billing for the other.
And even when I used to
I'd
work,
say it'd
I,
be some kind of notice generated
Right.
when they reach the threshold, that,
Yeah.
hey, you've reached the threshold, you've got.
Next
you know,
call.
Whatever it was, there's gonna be a charge for anything after this, here's your notice, kind of thing. I would say that would be some kind of mechanism in there for that.
So what other outlet, if someone does have a fall and they've met their threshold, who else could provide that service besides us? I mean, can they use a private service at all, or is it just, I mean, we're the last stand?
I mean, I don't think there's anything
yeah, there's not.
that, as far as, to prevent them from calling, the comm center and saying, look, my husband, my wife's failed, I need some help getting her up. I mean, I don't see where there's, anything that they couldn't call, and any number of facilities could respond, whether it be fire or law enforcement could respond, and if it's a simple help,
Okay, so
helping
it doesn't
them
have to be,
up.
doesn't have to be an ambulance, it could be.
no, I mean, I don't think it has to be, and.
But is
you
what,
know,
how's the comm center, cause are they gonna direct that to anybody, or are they just gonna always
I
direct it
think
back
at
to?
that point, if we implement that, that would be something that would have to be pushed out, that,
We'd have to get in touch with the
comm center
comm
and say,
center and
hey,
explain to them.
But they're gonna have to, I mean, they need to have to either have a list of all, you either have to make it where they have a list of all the people who've met their threshold, or they have to push it out for every fall, every time,
Sure.
they'd have to put it out to any,
Yeah, any unit
any
near
unit
such and
near.
such, yeah.
cause
I
right
see
now
what you're saying.
they're feeding it all just to, right now
Oh,
they're
yeah,
feeding
it's,
all to
you know,
EMS.
most of that is all just medical.
And a
and
lot
so
of
they're
times,
feeding it here.
I didn't mean to
No,
interrupt
go
you.
ahead.
A lot of times when people call it in too, they say, hey, my mother's fell, and then when the ambulance gets there, they're like, well, we just need help getting her back up in the chair, she's fine.
Right.
So it sounds like that's a
That-
training issue that, on the comm center side of it, or, or something we need to push out to that side, so they ask, well, is this an emergency, or do you just need help getting Granny back?
Is she
Right.
injured? Is she, is there
Yeah.
something other than just,
They
hey,
need to
and
ask-
like I think Mike said last time, there's been some that's been, hey, I just need help getting her off the porch.
To go shopping.
We're
yeah,
going
they gave
shopping.
that a
Yeah.
I just need her help
scenario.
getting off the porch to get in the car and then call to get her back up on the porch. And I get we're all gonna get old one day and we're all gonna need assistance.
Yeah, they need help, there's not a
you
question
know,
about that side
right.
of it, but do we tie up, like, where's the bottleneck, and
Sure.
what's the most extreme point where we don't need to be put, and it looks like it's our side of it right now.
Sure.
Well, yeah, cause
But
you look,
that's-
we had 64 lift assists,
Yeah.
over
Were
a
all
30-day
those
period, that's
lift
like 2 a
assists
day.
or
Yep.
was any
No.
of those actual
that-
falls legitimate?
That
This
don't sound like much, but
It's
was
it
marked
does
as
when it-
falls when I run the
when you got
report,
people tied up,
Michael.
And now it's causing you to have a 40-minute response time to something that really is an emergency, because Granny needed help. And Granny does need help, but she may not need as much help as somebody that's in a,
not from
just a
emergency
car wreck.
people,
Not
not
from the-
from first responders. She may just need help. Yeah.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
Michael did, speak with someone at the comm center, this has been weeks ago, maybe a month ago, about generating a report,
Right.
trying to separate actual fall calls to public assist, just,
That would help.
yeah.
That
To
would
get
help
a
us
more of a
understand
truer
if We
number.
need to do something, or we just need to, that just, is it maybe something we need to work with the comm center to?
Yeah. And I think whoever he spoke with, said they were capable of doing that, and they were gonna try to send him a
Right.
report.
I don't expect us to do nothing tonight. So just pass all this to Michael.
So is that something Michael would, that he would deal with the comm center and try to work out a more streamlined process of separating a true emergency from just a lift assist? Or is that something we need to do as a board, you know, through another board? Is that a director to director type thing or a board to
I
board
would
type
think
thing?
it would be director to director.
Right.
I think it would be.
Right.
So we just need
Bonner
to, as a
to get
board, we
with-
need to direct our director and how we
We'd
want
get
him
with
to go.
Sam
with it.
Harper and get together and say, okay, here's, from now on, here's how the calls need to go out, not
Okay.
just funnel to us.
Alright.
If it's just, I need help getting back up in the bed, then that wouldn't be an EMS call.
So I guess my question, these are not policies that the boards need to implement together. These are just,
If anything, I think it would be us directing Bonner to do that.
okay,
Right.
alright.
And if it comes in as a fall, this is just an idea, you know, if it comes in as a fall, so-and-so's fell, and then they get there, we just need help putting them back in the bed or the chair. You know, they generate a lot of those reports from the complaint. Hey, they go in and pull up all the files. Well, they can always go back and change that when the ambulance, say, helped them, got back in the recliner, whatever. They need to go back in there and change that to public assist, so when they pull those calls, we can get a little bit better idea of how many was actually a real fall and how many was just a public assist or lift
Right.
assist.
Right,
That gives
and
us a
that-
little better idea of what we're dealing with.
There may be more than we're talking about. I mean, there's 64 falls, you know, maybe 20 of them were lift assist, and the rest of them are actual falls.
Yeah, we don't
And they
know.
may be the other way around. I mean, we just don't know. We just need to get it to where we can figure that out. Okay, well, we'll put it on the agenda for next month and see if we can come up with something then. In the meantime, Missy, don't your comm center board meet?
October.
If you see Harper, I guess we might want to bring that up and talk to him about
Yeah,
that.
we will.
Cause that'd just be simple little changes in the way they handle that call to do that.
And Paul, do you wanna work on taking the same one that, you know, you said you wanted to change it from a 3-month to a 1-month?
If we could, it would make it easier for us to
Do
track it
y'all wanna
over.
come
a
up
short-
with something to, you know, recommend to us, how, you know, the language that you want that done in, so that,
Yeah, language and system, you're gonna, something that you can track. If it's a month, fine.
Okay.
If
yeah,
it's 2
just
months, fine.
tweak it to how you think
Tweak
it
it
needs to
however
be,
you
and
want.
then tell us, and then we'll decide if we like it or not.
Okay.
I know this sounds kinda petty, but, like you said, we're taking 64, if they're just lift assist, we're taking those people off the streets.
That's not petty, that's life or death.
I know, we're taking
That's not fair.
taking our people off the
That's
streets.
tying the ambulance up.
I
And,
mean, it does, it's not like we're overrun with ambulances, so like we've said, we know Granny needs help, and that's fine, we're here to help them in public safety. But when you've got that ambulance tied up over here somewhere, and there's, somebody bleeding out
Right.
over a wreck, they need to hurry up and get there.
And
So-
there's some legitimate lift assists that
Oh,
they
yeah,
might call
certainly.
once a year, but then there's
Right.
some that they abuse it because they've learned, well, all I gotta do is
They
instead
call
of
5
getting-
times a week.
calling a family member,
Right.
we can call an ambulance and they'll help, so.
Yeah.
I think that kinda needs to be, if they change that on the CAD call, that might help us figure out if we got a problem somewhere.
But then if we are gonna implement this, we need to use the teeth. I mean, we can't implement it and say, hey, once we reach the threshold, the next call needs to be an invoice sent with it.
Right.
I mean, it has to be, and it sounds like what we did come up with last time actually hasn't been implemented, so.
Right. And it was a little, I don't know. To me, I thought it was a little weak.
I thought it was generous.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Very yeah, there's a better word, generous. We was very generous with that, which it couldn't, yeah. All right. Did you get all that?
I think so.
Good job.
Did you get it, Lori?
No.
Did you take notes for me?
All right, we'll go to number 10,
Call recorder.
new business, temporary closing of North Station.
We had some issues with some odors in the North Station a week or so ago. So we we ended up closing North Station down for 2.5, 3 days, I think it was. Contacted TUA. They came out, met with me that afternoon, two of their personnel, discussed the issue. They came back the next day and smoked the building, or the pipe in the building, located the source. Rick Sorcy and his crew was there as well. And what they ended up determining was the washer drain did not have a P-trap in it.
Oh, okay.
So we've been there for years, none of that's changed, so why all of a sudden now did we get this? The TUA put in a new piece of equipment, which I think, I'm not expert on this, so it puts a little pressure in the line, so that may have forced that in there just enough because it didn't have a P-trap in it. And Rick and his crew went in, made corrections, and everything's fine now.
Okay, very good. And I appreciate you calling me and keeping
Yeah.
me aware of that.
All right, you're welcome.
All right, we'll move on next in MedStat Ambulance Service. Anything?
We have not officially been notified of anything. This is all hearsay, which I
Okay.
believe it to be true. They are in the process of closing down. I think they've released most of their employees. There's some hearsay that they've got a skeleton crew just to finish out the month for their dialysis patients till they can make other arrangements. But we have not officially been notified of anything. This is just hearsays from a couple of former employees that
Okay,
work there.
you'll probably get official word here shortly, I guess.
Yeah. I would
So how
think
many
so.
privates do we have now operating in this?
Let's see, in county, Expedited, Amerimed, and Team Mobile.
T-Mobile?
Mhm.
So we have
Three.
Three,
4 with MedStat, right?
right,
But they're fixing to go out, so that's
right.
it's back
Leaves
to
us
3.
with 3. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Any other questions on that? MedStat? All right. Our next meeting will be the third Thursday in October. Is that correct? All right. If y'all don't have any statements or announcements, then,
Motion to
entertain a motion
adjourn,
to
please.
adjourn by
Second.
Keel, second by Watkins. All in favor, get up.
Guys, y'all, this is the ambulance authority meeting, is that what y'all are here for?
There we go.
Well, they can come over, hey, they can come over.
They can come over here now.
Okay, they may be coming over there then.
Yeah.
I think she's still here. Okay, well, I heard them, I think they're in there right now. Okay.
Yeah, if they don't start till 6, so.
Okay, all right, maybe they're just hanging out.
They're just early.